A country with no army and one of the wealthiest in Latin America. Next door, a land ravaged by years of war and one of the least visited places in the world. Two faces of Central America, Costa Rica and Nicaragua. Here we come! Woo-hoo! Costa Rica is renowned for its rainforests and national parks, whilst Nicaragua is known more for its volatile politics. Sharing a common border, they are two of Central America's most contrasting countries. From the capital of Costa Rica, I travelled to the rainforests around Monteverde and on to Liberia, before cooling off on the Pacific coast in Montezuma. Entering Nicaragua, I travelled to the remote Solotanami Islands. Crossing Lake Nicaragua, I visit Grenada and Managua, ending my journey on Vulcan Messiah. Costa Rica has a population of 3 million, a third of which live in its capital, San Jose. I've been dropped off in downtown San Jose, and what a day to arrive! It's Costa Rica's general elections, and as you can see, it's complete mayhem! There's always this mad on election day.
Isn't it crazy? Every 4 years it happens the same thing. For us, it's like a national holiday to have the right to choose our next president. It's something like other nations have been struggling to get that right, and for over 100 years we have enjoyed the right to
vote. The Tico Times is a local English paper here, and it lists loads of places where you can find really cheap accommodation in the city. Guess I better try and make a few inquiries. Hola.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
Okay, here is the room.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Hilda.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It's a bargain at $10. Right, time to get my glad rags on and check out the nightlife. This is a boca bar, and they're pretty typical throughout Costa Rica. What you do here is you buy yourself a beer and you get free food. Oh, here we go.
I love it here. You know why?
Why is that?
Definitely do the cooking.
So what have we got here then?
You got beef with beans. It's typical beans.
And potatoes too, yeah?
Potatoes too, yeah. I got it.
Yeah. And what about this one?
That's fish.
And what's this called?
Ceviche.
Ceviche.
That's raw fish. How do you like it?
Vinegary. Where does merengue music come from?
It comes from Venezuela. I understand rich people didn't like it at first because the words in it were very rude, and they changed the words, and now it's very popular.
All right. So how do you dance merengue then?
You hold hands like this and you just move.
Oh, we need some music though, don't we?
Yes, I think so.
Merengue is a fast version of salsa, and most of the clubs playing merengue get going about midnight. The most popular is Friday night at El Tobacco, where up to 2,000 people dance their socks off. And the winner of the Costa Rican general election is Miguel Angel, Christian Socialists. The red and blue team win. Despite being one of the most affluent countries in Latin America, poverty is still a problem, particularly on the outskirts of San Jose. One volunteer group is trying to make things better.
We have a group of volunteers, and we're working on Ana Paradis's house. She's a single mother with 9 children. She got fed up with having to live with a situation of domestic strife and conflict, and so she moved out.
And so what sort of experience do you think the volunteers gain from doing this?
It's great for them because they come down here and they see a side of Costa Rica that usually a visitor won't see, which is what I call the heart part of Costa Rica, the heart. Most of our volunteers get back a lot more than they give because they go back to their country of origin and they make different decisions about how they spend their own resources, their money, their time, and their goods.
Well, I came here primarily to teach. I think I'm always interested in getting to the truth of things at a deeper level than what's usually advertised.
It's great to get out of San Jose. You're out of the pollution, you're in beautiful country. You can go through rainforests, you can go to the tops of mountains, you can go to the base of volcanoes. Anywhere in Costa Rica you can go, and you can get there on a Harley.
If you can't ride, you can get yourself a guide. And this is mine, Paul.
How you doing, Neil?
Fine.
You ready to see the most incredible country in the world?
Yeah.
Today we're going to cross the continental divide. We're going to go through 5 different geographical areas. We're going to see mountains, rivers, animals, exploding volcanoes, rainforests. Do you think you're man enough to do it by Harley?
I think so.
Andale, orale, Monteverde, here we come.
Over a quarter of Costa Rica is protected by national reserves. One of the most famous is the Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve. It's a 3-hour drive to get there, and another 3 hours to Volcan Arenal.
Okay, Neil, we're headed up to Meridian now, coffee country. In about 45-50 minutes, we'll be in the rainforest. Little by little, it gets more tropical until you just hit an amazing wonderland.
And is it going to get hotter as well?
It gets cold and hot, cold and hot. There's mini climates all over Costa Rica. This isn't a real toll booth, Neil. They just set up this, and it's a family, and they sell lottery tickets, but we like to do our part. Maybe one day we'll win the lottery. Cuatro, por favor.
That's a bit cheeky, really, isn't it?
Well, anyway, here's your number. I'll write to you in England and see if you won.
Hey, I passed the toll. It's not a toll.
Here we are, Neil. We're coming right into the rainforest. It's a beautiful place.
So good.
Here we go. Look at all the fauna and flora. Well, now here we are in the Costa Rican rainforest, and when we're here, we like to drink a little cup of coffee and play a little game. Are you a real Harley man? Hola, ¿cómo está?
I think so, yeah.
Think so. Here's our little friend. He's a tarantula, rainforest tarantula.
Oh my God.
Like a nice pet.
Real men put them on their heads, Neil. Right on your forehead. Yeah, you, hey.
He's going.
All right, Neil. All right now.
Okay, who's going to take it off now?
Neil.
All right. You can get off my head now.
You're a real Harley man now, Neil.
So I can ride your Harley now then, Paul?
You can ride my Harley now.
Great.
And if you eat him, I'll give you a Harley for free.
Not a chance.
Well, Neil, here's another great stop on our mad adventure. This guy is incredible. He's a real expert at what he does, and you're going to have a big, big surprise.
Really? Oh my God. What is this guy up to?
I don't know, but I hope these guys had lunch already. This is Minor Camacho. He's the best and greatest expert on snakes in Costa Rica. He's crazy, but he does a good job.
Well, I'm going to Monteverde next, so which snake should I watch out for?
He's Ferdinand, our principal snake. The ugliest smile in Costa Rica.
The deadliest smile.
Yeah.
I'll take you out in about 5 minutes, Neil.
And what happens when you get bitten by this?
produce hemorrhage, effect of blood.
And then I die.
It's deadly snake.
How many times have you been bitten, Minor?
Four bites for poisonous snakes and more than 650 for non-poisonous snakes.
150. So can I stroke it?
Yes. Only one person
This year?
in 1,000 million of persons can say I touch one for the lancet.
The skin is so loose around the muscle.
If I didn't have my hand around his head like this, he'd be nipping out our noses right now.
So I'm just glad you've got the head end.
Yeah.
There are 200 species of snake in Monteverde. Fortunately, only 4 of these are deadly. What the reserve lacks in deadly snakes is made up for in birds. This area has the greatest collection of species found anywhere in the world. Monteverde National Reserve! Deep in the cloud forest! If you want to see the best birds, hire a guide to help you spot them. Have you found something?
There's some toucans right here. Very quick, Neil. There's a bird right here. Quick. Look at that, look. Ready? Okay. So it's called the emerald toucanet. Toucans are only found in the neotropics. It's another very special family. This is the male. You see the body with the blue throat?
That's the first toucan I've ever seen.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
So why is Costa Rica so special for bird watchers?
We have more birds in Costa Rica than North America, including Canada together. Places like Monteverde, where we are today, the cloud forest, we have more than half of the species in the whole area, more than 400 species.
Every time I think I spot something, it turns out to be a leaf or
Okay.
an orchid on a tree
Yeah.
or something. So what's the best way to spot the quetzal?
Sound, and the color is very different, you know, it's not the green like the leaves, or it's very different color. You heard it?
That is
Right there,
it.
yeah, there is.
It's
Listen
like a
for it.
cat almost, isn't it?
Yeah, like a cat, like. There, you see it? Okay, this is a female right here, quick. Look at it, beautiful. You see a little blue and dark in the back?
Yeah.
Look at the colors, look at the beautiful iridescent colors. Green metallic, yellow bill, red breast.
The tail, yeah. Long blue tail. I've seen a quetzal.
One of the most famous in the world, the resplendent quetzal.
A true bird watcher now. Why did you come to Monteverde to bird watch?
Particularly to see the resplendent quetzal and all of the birds that are at the highlands area.
And did you see it?
Yes, we saw it. The first bird inside the park. We walked in and 3 of them were flying together.
So how did you feel?
Exhilarated, like the trip is a success and it's just begun.
Volcan Arenal is the world's 2nd most active volcano, which means that if you're lucky, you might just see an eruption. It throws out over 15 million cubic meters of lava every year. One of the best places to stay in this area is here at the Arenal Lodge. This room's cost me $50, which I think is a little bit expensive, but the guy said the view's quite good. Oh, yeah. Certainly makes it worth $50 for the room, doesn't it? It's such a perfect volcano as well. It's like one of the ones you draw when you're a little kid. And that's it, right in front of me. After slugging it out in the jungle, what better way to relax and unwind those muscles than in these beautiful hot springs? The water's kicked out of the volcano at a scorching 150 degrees centigrade. But by the time it gets down here, it's a little bit cooler. Javier, this is like paradise right here, the Garden of Eden. You get a lot of honeymooners around here.
Yes. Well, after 6, when it gets dark, the mystique of the place, you know, the hot water, the volcano, but with the lava flowing.
All right.
You know, you can dance, you can drink, and you can, a lot of things.
A lot of things. Get in the mood sort of thing, yeah?
Exactly, just like get in the mood, man. Yes. that's
So
right.
how many couples have you caught getting in the mood in the gardens?
I think more than 5,000.
5,000.
In 1 year, yeah, for sure, 1 year.
West of Vulcan Arenal is Liberia on the Costa Rican plains. From there, I head south to rest up on the Pacific coast in Montezuma. Liberia is in the heart of cowboy country, and still today, youngsters are practically born in the saddle.
That'll do.
Yeah?
That's good.
And then you just swing?
Yeah. Try to swing it and then go for
Yeah,
it.
and then just chuck it at the cows, yeah?
Exactly.
Let's get him!
Hoi, hoi. Okay.
That's how you catch yourself a cow in cowboy country.
Heel. See, you do this just in case you have to check something out or put a vaccine or, you know. Now you can leave it and it should not get up.
Every February, cowboys take time out from working on the ranch to take part in bull fiestas, a tradition which has been going for over 300 years. The riders wear spurs which they hook into the side of the bulls and bleed and get them angry. But this being an eco-friendly country, the bull gets to live.
Preparado este muchacho. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está la emoción? ¿Dónde está la alegría? Aquí, en Paso Tempi.
Each bull weighs over 400 pounds, and some of the riders here will have started in the rodeo as young as 12.
Gemelos está interesando nuevamente y se lo está llevando. Vamos a ver si le ayudan a ese muchacho para que lo lleven.
Well, Oswaldo took a pretty nasty tumble off there, so I'm getting dragged off to the fences, but fingers crossed it's going to be okay. Hey, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien,
Bien? Sí, sí.
Oh, yeah. Un poquito.
Very red, yeah. After the bullfighting, the carnival kicks off. With candy floss, games, and a bit of dancing. But everyone's just killing time until the beauty contest starts.
De la reina saliente, la reina 97.
At every rodeo, there's the coronation of the rodeo queen. And now that the 4 finalists are in place, the tension heats up. But it's all down to luck. It all depends on who picks the correct fan. And I was chosen as a lucky man to have the honour of dancing with the rodeo queen. From Liberia, it's a 3-hour drive and a 1-hour ferry trip to the popular travellers' hangout at Montezuma. Morning in Montezuma. Got my room for $2 a night. Not bad for a sea view. There's over 800 miles of coastline in Costa Rica. On the Caribbean side they go white sand, but here on the Pacific sand it's black volcanic sand.
Montezuma is a fabulous place. I've just come down from Canada and having lived in the deep freeze for the last 20 years, it's like coming home for me.
And I wanted to just relax and just to be with part of nature and not have any stress around me, and there is no stress around here.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's dirt cheap. You can come and camp on the beach for nothing. Which we've done, yeah.
You walk and you swim and you just enjoy the environment.
The men are a little bit macho, but they're very, very friendly towards ladies.
People are friendly. People are good.
Compared to Blackburn, Costa Rica is just brilliant, paradise.
The Because of the number of foreign visitors,
Just
locals
imagine
refer
you're
to
on a beautiful
Montezuma
beach,
as Gringo Land.
looking at the ocean. The more we relax, the more we feel. So we can benefit from these positive emotions as much as possible. And we hold a ball out in front. Now very slowly, if you move your hands towards each other, what can you feel?
Tingling.
Tingling? Anything else?
It's like they're repelling each other.
As if it's two magnets.
Yeah.
So this is the chi, your electromagnetic field. You find that the thoughts that run through your head will affect the emotional state that you're in. If you have good thoughts, you feel positive emotions. When you feel positive emotions, your body responds and feels good.
So what was it that attracted you to Montezuma?
Well, first of all, the natural beauty, the fact that it was separated from civilization, big cities, being close to the beach, listening to the ocean. I could name 1,000 things.
The list is endless. What kind of people tend to settle down in a community like this?
People looking for a natural lifestyle, people that want to get out of the cities, people that want to experience nature firsthand, to feel what is nature. I actually lived in solitude for 1 full year. I watched what the monkeys did, ate what they ate, eating tree leaves, whatever wild fruit there was. And in that time, I spent $5 in 1 full year, and that was on tomatoes and stamps to send letters to my mother and father.
Inland from Montezuma are a series of waterways that offer a different type of attraction. Apparently, here at the River Tarcolis, there are 25 crocodiles per kilometre, ranging in 3 foot to 12 foot. But the population is becoming threatened because of global warming. How are you? Thank you. Hi there. Higher temperatures mean that fewer females are being born. Tours like this help fund an egg breeding program, which aims to preserve the population. The guy that runs this operation is called Victor, also known as the Crocodile Man. And he has been known to get very, very close to his subjects. The size of the thing. Crocodiles are carnivorous animals. They eat sporadically and can survive weeks on end without eating at all. I can't believe he's in the water with that crocodile.
Now, go for the next one area. The Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein is a big one, crocodile. Huh? It's a 22 feet, it's the long one.
Why is he called Saddam?
It's dangerous, it's crazy, it's aggressive.
He's a mean crocodile, is he?
Yeah.
This cow's in grave danger. It got stuck in a bank, it's crossing the river now, but the crocodiles are quite partial to a bit of beef. I think he's made it though. Lucky cow. Victor claims that he loves crocodiles more than he loves people. And whilst he showed off his handling skills, we were warned that under no circumstances should we move. So awesome being so close to something, a metre away from something that could just wipe you out in seconds. And it looks so prehistoric as well. Well, it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I've come back to San Jose to catch the bus to Nicaragua. This journey is going to take me all day and this is only the first leg. One-way ticket to Nicaragua, that's 870 colones, just under $4. You go back to sleep. You can go almost anywhere in Costa Rica by bus. A 6-hour journey takes you to the northern border town of Los Chiles, where you take a boat up the Rio Frio into Nicaragua, and then down the river to El Castillo. I've just got off the bus and I'm here in Los Chiles, which is still on the Costa Rican side of the border. I'm not even halfway through my journey yet. I've still got 2 rivers to negotiate. The porters will guide you to Costa Rican passport control. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody working? No español. Inglés. 7 minutes. 10 minutes. Gracias. I'm in. There's only one road crossing into Nicaragua, and this river crossing, which has recently opened. During the years of conflict, it was virtually impossible to use this method to cross the borders, but nowadays things are a lot more relaxed. Hola, señor. ¿Cómo estás? There is a scheduled boat across the border every other day, but your best bet are the local fishermen. Up the river and into the heart of darkness. We're crossing into Nicaraguan territory now. What a border! Well, this is different. Nicaraguan passport control. Hola. I have my passport. Don't laugh at the photograph. Nicaragua has seen years of political upheaval and conflict. 40 years of the Somoza dictatorship spurred the Sandinista revolution, which was followed by the American-backed Contra War. But the democratic elections in 1990 have finally brought peace to this country. The journey down the Rio San Juan will take you to the historic town of El Castillo. El Castillo is the only castle in Central America and was built by the Spanish in the 17th century to defend Grenada from British, French and Dutch pirates. In 1780, the British, led by Lord Nelson, captured the castle and their flag flew here, but only for a few days because the Spanish kicked them straight back out. El Castillo has seen its share of visitors, but it's still a remote place. And if you want to explore the surrounding jungle, you can find a guide in the town.
My name's Neil.
Oh, Juan Carlos.
Juan Carlos.
Okay, Neil. If you want to use the bathroom, here's your chance. We have a long journey up ahead.
Okay.
Watch for your balance in there.
Thanks. The best place to start a jungle trek is 1 hour downstream at the Rio Bartola on the Silla Paz Reserve. During the Contra War, this area was totally off limits, but nowadays, so long as you can paddle, there's plenty of wild jungle to explore. Dogs are bailing out now. What do you think they've spotted?
It might have been one of those big rodents. It's called the watusa.
Watusa? That's what these dogs are used for, is it, hunting watusa?
Yeah, basically they're expert in trying to catch a watusa.
What was it like here during the war, Juan?
Well, it was a complete different situation. The only way you could come to these places was with a weapon, because there was a lot of fighting going on here between the Sandinista army and the Contra forces. I think we should take a rest about here and cut this water tree. Some very good water. This is like bottled water. You're gonna have to carry this. This will be our water supply for the rest of the day. Okay? Let me get some of this too. A little bit.
Nice. Refreshing. And the ants are an optional extra. Well, you better stick it in your pocket and we'll get trekking then.
All right, we'll stick it in your backpack better.
Oh, no, you carry it. The locals still continue with the tradition of using dogs for hunting. If you're interested, your guide can organize this for you. Coming.
I think they smelled it already.
Get it, Juan? The chase is over and we've got our animal, but it wasn't a pleasant sight. But I guess we can eat tonight, though. Yeah, I rather wish I hadn't seen that.
Okay, Neil, dinner's ready.
Coming, darling.
Let me cut a piece for you.
Okay.
Just imagine you're having pork. There you go.
Thanks.
So how is it?
Oh, that is delicious. It's the first time I've had rat. North of the border region around El Castillo, you can travel by boat across Lake Nicaragua. There are 400 islands on the lake, and some of the most isolated are in the Solotanami archipelago. Lake Nicaragua is the largest lake in Central America, and it's the only freshwater lake in the world where sharks reproduce. Legend has it that the Indians used to sacrifice their dead by dragging the corpses in the water until the bones have been picked clean by the sharks. Nice. There's 36 islands in the Solotanami archipelago, and this is the largest, Mancaron. And it's also the only one with a hotel. I better go and check in. The Solotanami Islands played a crucial role in the Sandinista uprising against the oppressive Somoza regime. Apparently, the owner of this hotel played a role in the revolution too.
Hicimos la toma al cuartel de San Carlos, una toma muy importante porque
we attacked and captured Somoza's guards at San Carlos Fortress.
La guardia de Somoza en su propia casa y que hicimos una
We started a great revolution that taught us a lot about human solidarity.
¿Qué es esto?
Esta es la bandera rojinegra.
This is the red and black flag that was the symbol of the fight of the Sandinista front. With the success of the revolution, we overthrew a 50-year dictatorship.
It's Sunday afternoon and all the islanders have turned up for Nicaragua's national sport. I've been stuck out in the field, but I think we're doing all right. Baseball was introduced to the Nicaraguans in the early 1900s when US Marines were based here. He's psyching me out now. Look at that pose. Right there. Here it comes. Oh! For nearly 3 decades, the United States influenced politics. Despite turbulent relations with the US, this has not affected the country's passion for baseball. At the end of the day, the locals like to get stuck into their rum, and the Flor de Caña is one of the best in the world. But here, they brew their own, which is fermented in human excrement. I think I've got one of each. Which one's which? Yeah, bueno. Salud. Local art has been inspired by the island's turbulent history. What was it that attracted you to Solotanami?
I'm really interested in the primitive arts, and I knew that Solotanami was the place where primitive art was born in Nicaragua, and I just come to realize that they just copy nature, really. I mean, you can see how incredible nature is here, how bright the colors are, how these paintings began were by the hand of this revolutionary priest called Ernesto Cardenal, and basically during the Somoza dynasty in this country, most of the things were forbidden. They were really oppressive kind of dynasty. They had to hide, basically, and paint at night by candlelight. They had to go to Costa Rica at some point because they were threatened.
Across the lake from the Solotanami archipelago, you reach Grenada. The local hydrofoil leaves 3 times a week and takes anything from 3 to 12 hours. Well, got myself a room in the heart of Grenada for only $5. It's a good price. Grenada, the first city founded by the Spanish in Nicaragua in 1524. It's It's one of the oldest colonial cities in the whole of the Americas. It was constantly attacked by pirates, but it's still standing today. The city was almost destroyed in 1885 by fire when American adventurer William Walker tried to take Grenada and rule Nicaragua. Despite this, many claim Grenada is the most beautiful city in Latin America.
I was initially afraid to come to Nicaragua, but the people treated us very respectfully, very kindly, and we haven't had any problems. So right now is a really good time to come to Nicaragua.
This country makes 30 million cigars a year and is second best only to Cuba. And this factory is the biggest producer in Grenada. There are 5 different grades of cigars here, from big, huge, fat ones to little, small ones for the ladies, which have been flavoured with rum, vanilla and whiskey. Got a nice curve to it. Bueno, a little bit of glue, that'd be alright. Sí, bien. So how many cigars do you test a day?
Just in the morning before 9 o'clock is around 25, 30 cigars.
30 cigars before breakfast, yeah?
Yes.
And do you export these cigars?
Most of the cigars go to United States. Now we have big big guys over there, like Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger, right on the picture. Mr. Arnold. He liked the smell coming from our table, but before he go to another table, he said, "I'll be back."
I'm trying to get myself a lift to Managua by the cheapest way possible. It's only an hour away, but I'm not walking. Bus to Managua costs about $1, and they run really frequently, about every 5 minutes. And they've all got different names. This one's called the Love Machine. It's the Disco Love Machine bus to Managua. It takes about an hour to get to Managua, and from there I carry on to nearby Masaya. Nicaragua has a population of just 4 million, and a quarter live here. Managua is the capital city of Nicaragua, and it was actually built on volcanic fault lines. During the 1960s and 1970s, it was the most developed city in Central America. Then the earthquake struck in '72, and Managua was devastated. In case the fault lines become active again, geologists have advised that the city centre should not be rebuilt. There's no distinct centre to Managua, and many of the streets don't have any names, and people still use buildings which are no longer standing as reference points. I'm looking for the Hotel Intercontinental. Where am I? Yeah, Hotel Intercontinental? Hotel Intercontinental? No. Hola, señor. Hotel Intercontinental?
Allá.
Yeah.
No.
Right. I think I've got it. Okay, gracias.
Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes.
Back in 1972, during the Somoza regime, Howard Hughes part-owned this hotel with Somoza. He was here in his penthouse suite when the earthquake struck. The Intercontinental Hotel was one of a few buildings left standing. 10,000 were killed and 40,000 were injured, and Howard Hughes never returned.
Howard Hughes! Howard Hughes!
Because Managua is so big, the best way to see it is by road. So I found myself a local biker dude and he's giving me the full tour. Might even pull a wheelie later on too. Right, we're approaching Waterworld. It's Disney World and a roundabout. How colourful. Just off this roundabout, as with many others, there's hundreds of mariachis. And what you do is, you pull in here and you rent yourself a band. And believe me, to make a party, you need these guys. The mariachi come from Mexico, but Managua alone has over 100 who perform every night of the week. In 1981, 2 years after the Sandinista Revolution, Ronald Reagan's US administration started secretly funding the counter-revolutionary Contra Army, which prolonged the Civil War for a further 9 years. Decades of fighting wiped out a whole generation. Over 30,000 died. At the Heroes and Martyrs Museum, you come face to face with the victims of a 30-year conflict, and the realities of war are brought home.
There are 150 pictures of the people who died fighting for the Sandinista during the war here in Nicaragua. This is one of the mothers who helped to set up this gallery. There are more than 100 mothers working in this gallery.
Could Leonor tell me why her and the other mothers felt it was important to set the museum up?
Se formó esta galería.
This gallery was built up because they don't want to forget what happened in the past. They have already forgive, but they won't forget.
Primero me mataron a mi marido.
First, what happened, she lost her husband in the war. Then, after 13 days, her older sons died in the war. So she was coming crazy. She used to go outside in the street, scream to the war because she said she doesn't want to live anymore. She wanted the war to kill her also.
In 1990, years of conflict came to an end with the first democratic elections. Why was the park built?
It was built as a symbol that Nicaragua has been in peace since 1990, and that we Nicaraguans are tired of war. That's why it is called El Parque de la Paz, which means the Park of Peace. More than 25,000 AK-47 are buried here, and we decided to bury them instead of giving them away because we don't want the same story to happen again.
And is this a real tank here?
Yes, everything you see around is real.
It's pretty amazing. So they're just taking all the weapons and covered them in concrete?
Yes.
This is Messiah Market. You can buy food here, you can buy clothes here, but it's the best place in the whole country to buy indigenous handicrafts. Nicaragua seems to have little regulation when it comes to the selling of stuffed animals. Now that is classy. That's enough to make me want to start smoking, that is. ¿Cuánto? Into $15. No, I'll give it a miss, thank you. They call this place the Shoe Hospital, and since I got a trek coming up and a little bit of loose stitching, I thought I'd better get these checked out. Senor. You can't come to Nicaragua without visiting the annual religious festival at Diriamba. It's just over an hour's drive from Managua. Hey. Want to call that? Hello, how are you? Okay, let's go! Hitchhiking in Nicaragua can be a family affair and is relatively safe, so long as you take the usual precautions. Nicaragua is a profoundly Catholic country, and every January the descendants of the Chorotega people come here to worship their patron saint, San Sebastian. The The tradition of this festival has continued for over 300 years, and on the first day, many come on bended knee to pray for miracles and good fortune.
Well, it's taken me a good 2-mile walk to get here, but I'm finally here in Dolores, and I'm waiting with one of the other saints for San Sebastian to arrive. And I can see him coming now.
Once the saints have reached the church entrance, the celebrations begin. The fiesta lasts a week.
These guys with the funny hats and the funny masks on are supposed to represent the Spanish. It's all about the Indians taking the mickey out of the Spanish conquistadors by dressing up in fancy dress and showing how ridiculous they really look. That's not my opinion, though. This is Nicaragua's second largest festival, and it's all paid for by a local guy who's known as the Mayor Domo. And he lays on all the food and all the drink.
Well, Neil, all these people are coming here to eat free food during 4 days. You see, the mayor made a promise to San Sebastian to give free food to all the people that comes to his place.
So it must be a real honor to be the Mayor Domo.
Of course, it's a real honor. There is a big satisfaction in giving free food to the people of your hometown. You know, I was the first mayor at the beginning of the revolution. I had to give food to 35,000 people one day. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. But I made a promise a year before the war. I made a promise to San Sebastian, to our patron.
How much roughly did it cost you?
That year it cost me approximately $20,000.
Vulcan Messiah is just 30 minutes from the capital. It's one of the most visited places in the country.
There are 58 volcanoes in Nicaragua, and 6 of these are still active. Here at Vulcan Messiah, noxious sulfur fumes still pour out every day, and it's earned the nickname of Burning Mountain. And I'm going to trek to the top. How long will it take us to get to the crater?
4 hours.
Oh, wow. When was the last eruption from the volcano?
It was on March 1772.
And is this the lava that we're walking on from that eruption?
Yes, this is that one.
What do you take with you when you're trekking?
Well, water.
Yeah.
And also I bring a mascara.
A mask?
Yeah, a mask. Because in the top gases are very strong.
Really?
Yes, they are very strong.
Is there much further to go?
No, don't worry, we are almost there.
Almost?
Yes.
I can smell sulfur now.
Oh yes, we are almost at the crater.
Is it true that people were thrown into the volcano?
Yes, it is. The Indian people believe in a legend, and they sacrifice virgin and children to make happy the crater.
And why is there a cross on the top of the hill?
Well, when the Spanish arrived to Nicaragua, they considered the mouth of hell.
The Christians believed there was the devil down there.
Yeah.
And the Indians believed there was a god down there.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's it. After half a day's trek, I've made it. And it's definitely worth it. Having traveled between 2 capitals, I've noticed a lot of contrast. Costa Rica has beauty, but Nicaragua has an openness which has made me feel so welcome. You can be sure that when you travel in these countries, you're in for rewards and revelations!